All right, welcome back to the Email List Building Tech Guide. Today is Module 2, and the topic of today is creating an email list. So we're going to talk both about how to actually create an email list, but more importantly, what the heck an email list even is. And let's quickly recap Module 1. Module 1 is where we went over the different email marketing services, Aweber, MailChimp, Constant Contact, and we discussed why we're choosing Aweber and why it's important for you to sign up for Aweber to continue this course. So at this point, you should have signed up for an Aweber account. If you haven't done that yet, if you don't really understand why Aweber and you haven't signed up for an Aweber account yet, I would really recommend heading back to module number 1, go through that, and then sign up for an Aweber account. I give you all the details on how to do that over there before returning here to module number 2. So module number 2, the game plan for today is we're going to understand email lists. So we're going to cover what an email list is, how and when that you're going to want to create a new email list, because you can create several email lists inside of your email lists. You can create several email lists inside of your one Aweber account. So we're going to talk about that. And we're also going to be talking about how to create and personalize your list. So how do you actually set up your list? What does that mean? And how do you personalize it? Things like that. And so that's it. So let's get right into it. Understanding what an email list is. Got some screenshots for you so you can kind of see what's going on here. This is inside of your Aweber account, by the way, on the right there. An email list is a list of people who have given you permission to send them email broadcasts, or you could call it bulk email. And what that is emails that you're sending to a group of people at once or automatically. So in order to do that, you need people to opt in to join your list. And your list is going to be, again, a list of people that have given you permission to send them these kinds of emails. Each list has a unique set of settings. Some of the settings are from name, so that is the name that the email will come from. You're familiar with this if you have an email account. You're familiar with these settings. From name means what name is your email going to come from. It's probably going to be your name, maybe your business name. Also, email address. What is the email address that's going to have come from, right? And a confirmation email. This is an email that goes out immediately after the subscriber signs up for your list, and you can customize what that says. And then an optional autoresponder email series, or you can call this a follow-up series. We're going to cover all this stuff in the future modules here, but each email list has a unique from name, a unique email address, a from email address, I guess you could call it, a unique confirmation email or lack of confirmation email, and then a unique set of follow-up emails or lack of follow-up emails. You could either have it or you don't have to have it. So that's what a list is. It has all these properties unique to it. So then the big question comes up, Craig, how many email lists do I need? Here's what I'd recommend. I'd recommend setting up an email list for each product or product line or service that you sell. The reason is because each list will only have one, like I said before, one from name and one from email address, one confirmation email, and one set of autoresponder emails that go out automatically after a person joins. Really, the main point here on this, the main part of this point I want to highlight is that last one. It has one set of autoresponder emails. Really what you want to think about this is as your funnel, your sales funnel. When somebody joins your funnel, they start out at a specific point on that list. Maybe it's the beginning. They start out at the beginning on that list, so they get kind of all the 101 stuff, and then they move into kind of more advanced stuff. Maybe one list starts people out at 101. Maybe there's another list, though, that's more advanced. If it's an advanced webinar or something like that, when somebody joins that list, you don't want to start them back out at 101. So you want to start them further ahead in the series. So I think the main difference here is set up a new list each time you want to set up a different set of autoresponder emails. If you want to send a video series to one group and an assessment to another, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Set up separate email lists. All right? And maybe if you have different product offerings, maybe if you have an advanced consulting service, or maybe if you have a a beginner online course. You'd maybe want to set them up differently, send them different stuff, and lead them down different sales funnel paths, etc. Hopefully this makes sense. So setting up your email list, when you actually decide, okay, this is the list I'm going to set up, or maybe I'm going to set up 2 different lists. This is list A, this is list B. Here's what you do. You go to aweber.com. Remember, this is always where you're going to go to log into your Aweber account in the future. And then log in, put your username and password in that box on the right. Then click at the top, create and manage lists. It might look a little differently if you haven't actually set up an email list yet, but just click create a new list. There might be a button for that, but if you have lists, it's going to be up here. Create a new list up there. Okay, click create a new list. Then it's going to ask you for basic information about your list. Put it in the list name, put in the from email, the from name. You're going to have to put your address in because this is just required of MailChimp or Aweber. If you need to, you absolutely can't have your address on there, then what you need to do is probably go set up a P.O. box for your business if you don't have one. You want to put your business address on here, and if you need to set up a P.O. box, I think that's completely fine. A lot of people do that. And then click Save at the bottom. And by the way, on that screen there, it says notifications. If you want to be notified every time somebody joins your list, which I really like to be notified, then put your name and email address in there. So let's talk about personalizing your email list next. So there's a little spot in the settings here called company branding. This is where you can put your company information and things. Now, I don't think these show up by default if you just put out a text or HTML email, but I think they show up in the email templates, some of them. So I'm not sure if this is always going to show up, but you might just want to fill this out anyways in case you want to use some of those email templates and just put your company information in here and things like that. If you want to connect to your social media accounts, go ahead. But really, that's only if you want to automatically broadcast emails on social media or things like that. If you're not sure exactly what's going on there, just skip it. I skipped it. I don't use that social media section there. And feel free to skip over the global text snippets as well. This is more advanced stuff, so don't worry about that right now. And then click Save Settings. And then that's it for Module 2. Go ahead and set up your list or a couple of lists, List A and List B, for the different products or services that you want to create. And then coming up in Module number 3, we're going to talk about that confirmation email, that email that goes out once somebody signs up for your list. And we're going to talk about how to customize it and things like that. So, I'll see you over in Module number 3.